Hey there, Hobo Goggles here, coming at you with another Airsoft field review from Northern California. Today I'm going to be visiting CQB City. I'm going to try and give you a little more gameplay in this video so you can see exactly what this field is like, but a really cool feature I just found was on their website. You can take a virtual tour of the entire field. So go ahead and check that out. I'll link it in the description below. Field opens in about an hour, so I'm going to head there right now.
He's down! He's down! Hey, building 11! We got one! 1, 2, 3, go! My little brother's in there, dude. He's just been chilling the whole time. In the hole? Yeah? That's the building? This blue one, right? I know. This one right here. Oh, this one right here? Yeah, this one right here. Go on, man. 1, 2, 3. No, we're not wounded. We're just waiting for you guys. I'm gonna call a medic for you guys. We're dealing with that. I'll call the medic. Call the medic. I have to. It has been. They don't care about it. Hey, medic!
I really enjoyed playing at CQB City. I thought that the field had a great layout, the people there were fantastic, and the game seemed to flow pretty smoothly. But there were also a couple things that I didn't really like about the field. So it made it really hard to give the field a rating. But after some careful thought, I'm going to have to give this field a 5 hit marker rating. And I'll tell you why. I think it was partially because I had to compare this field against GamePod. They're very close to each other, they're both very large indoor airsoft arenas, and I genuinely thought that this field deserved a better rating than GamePod. While GamePod may have this place on the size, CQB City had fantastic referees. The staff there was all very friendly, very helpful. They were very professional about the whole thing. Plus the field felt a little more dynamic. There were some two-story buildings, There was a lot more going on the field. The field just felt like it flowed better. The hit calling was barely an issue. Obviously, there's always a couple incidents, but not anything compared to what I experienced at GamePod. And the players were all very friendly with few exceptions. I really liked the layout of the field. The spawns were fairly well separated. I feel like they could have tucked them away a little more because it took a little bit out of play. Like the area around the bus, I felt like could have had more action to it, but the spawn was right there, so it was kind of just out in the open. That area wasn't really playable. But other than that, the field had great shooting lanes, great tight corners, indoor spaces. It was a lot of fun to play at. But that kind of moves me into one of the things that I didn't like about this field, and that was the transition rule, where you had to have a secondary weapon, or else half of the field would not be playable for you, and I did not have a secondary with me. So there were two major buildings that if I went into, I couldn't even shoot anybody, and that just kind of took a lot of the field out of play for me, which I really didn't enjoy. So my biggest suggestion to this field would be to eliminate that transition rule, where if you enter into these buildings, you have to pull out your secondary. Another rule that they had that I was not too fond of was their no minimum engagement, which is alright by itself, but their field limit is 400 FPS, so people are shooting you point blank with 400 FPS. Doesn't feel good. I personally only run 330 FPS indoors because a lot of fields the limit is 350, but realistically that's all you need. They also had some other weird rules like no headshots or no flashlights unless you're indoors, which I personally use my flashlight to light up my BBs as they're going out so I can see where they're going, kind of like a mock tracer unit. So most players there didn't really follow those rules, but that's completely understandable. Those are kind of strange rules to have anyway. The field, while it's not as big as GamePod, is certainly huge. Definitely the second biggest field I've ever been to indoors. But those small issues aside, great field. Would definitely come back here if I was in the area. Shout out to my guy Mike and his brothers Zach and Josh. You guys were a blast to play with. Can't wait to see you at the next one.
One moving left to right.